First question pertains to discovery of the cell. That is, who discovered cell and how he discovered cell. Answer is, the cells were discovered by Robert Hooke in 1665. He looked at a slice of a cork through a self-designed microscope. Here is the photograph of Robert Hooke's microscope. He discovered that the cork looked like the structure of a honeycomb. He found that the cork was made of a large number of tiny compartments or boxes, and each box was separated from the other by a wall or partition. He called these tiny compartments or boxes as cells. His observations are recorded in his book Micrographia. Next question is, why cell is called the structural and functional unit of life? Cell is the structural and functional unit of life. The word cell is derived from the Latin word cellula, which means a little room. All living organisms can be classified as unicellular or multicellular. In the case of unicellular organisms, uni means single, cellular means cells, that is single celled organisms. Example is amoeba. In the case of unicellular organisms, a single cell provides structure for the body and performs all the functions, that is digestion, excretion, reproduction, etc. that takes place inside the body of an organism. You know that if this is the photograph of an amoeba, all the functions which a body has to perform are performed by this single celled. This is amoeba, which is a single celled organism. But in the case of multicellular organisms, for example, plants, animals, and human beings, there are a large number of cells. The number of cells vary from species to species. It has been approximated that human body contains trillions of cells. In the case of multicellular organisms, cells form the structure of the organism. A bunch of cells working together form the tissue. A bunch of tissues working together form the organ. A bunch of organs working together form the organ system. And organ systems further combine to form the organism. This happens in the case of multicellular organisms. Cells in the multicellular organisms vary in size and shape depending upon the function they perform. All the functions that takes place inside the body of the multicellular organism are performed by the cells. Now the question is, organisms show variety in cell number, shape and size. In the case of unicellular organisms, a unicellular organism is also known as a single celled organism. It is an organism that consists of a single cell. It means that all the life processes such as reproduction, feeding, digestion, excretion, etc. occur in one cell only. Some examples of unicellular organisms are bacteria, protozoa, amoebas, unicellular fungi, etc. We can classify the organisms according to number of cells they have. Unicellular means single celled organisms. Multicellular means those organisms which have more than one cell. Examples of unicellular organisms have been given in this photograph. Example is that of amoeba and paramecium. Amoeba has no definite shape. It keeps on changing its shape. A white blood cell in the human blood is another example of a single cell which can change its shape. While WBC is a cell, amoeba is a full-fledged organism capable of independent existence. Now, the question before us is, how does an amoeba obtain its food? Amoeba is a single-celled microscopic organism. Microscopic means that organism which can be seen only with the help of a microscope. This organism is mostly found in pond water. It changes its shape and position constantly. Sometimes its shape may be this, other time its shape may be this. It goes on changing its shape and position. An amoeba takes its food by extending arm-like structures called pseudopodia from any part of the body. In this picture, you can see that a food in the shape of bacteria has come near to the amoeba on this side of his body. From here, he extends his false feet. These are false feet, which are called pseudopodia. These projections appear and disappear as amoeba moves or feeds. Amoebas eat algae, bacteria, plant cells, etc. Now, what are unicellular organisms? Those organisms which have more than one cell are called multicellular organisms. Multi means many, cellular means cell. All species of animals, land plants, and most fungi are multicellular. These are the photographs of few organisms who are multicellular. The number of cells in a multicellular organism may range from a few to billions. The number of cells being less in smaller organisms does not in any way affect the functioning of the organisms. All the cells in the case of multicellular organisms work in coordination with each other for the proper functioning of the organisms. The lifespan of a single-celled organism is short. Why the lifespan of a single-celled organism is short? Because all the functions such as excretion, digestion, reproduction have to be performed by the single-celled, and there is a lot of work which the single-celled organism has to perform. There is a lot of workload on it, while the lifespan of a multicellular organism is longer due to the reason that the different cells carry out specific functions because they have different roles to perform. That is why the lifespan of multicellular organisms is longer as compared to single-celled organisms. Now, we will see the difference between unicellular and multicellular organisms. As you know, the number of cells in case of unicellular organism is only 1, whereas in the case of multicellular organism consists of more than one cell. Size in case of unicellular organisms, cell size is larger, whereas in case of multicellular organisms, the size of the cell is smaller. In case of unicellular organisms, single cell performs all the life functions. For example, eating, reproducing, waste removal, moving, etc. In the case of multicellular organisms, specialized cells perform the different life functions. For example, nerve cells. Type of role. Cell has only one role as an individual. On the other hand, in the case of multicellular organisms, cell has dual role as an individual and as well as part of community. Workload in the case of unicellular organisms, workload on the cell is high. In the case of multicellular organisms, workload on an individual cell is very less. There is no division of labor in the case of unicellular organisms because all the functions have to be performed by the single cell, whereas there is division of labor in the case of multicellular organisms. Next is, in the case of unicellular organisms, death of the cell results into the death of the organism because there is only a single cell. But in the case of multicellular organisms, death of a few cells does not result in the death of the organism. There is no cell replacement in case of unicellular organisms, but in the case of multicellular organisms, old and weak cells are continuously replaced by new cells. Examples of unicellular organisms are bacteria, amoeba, yeast, paramecium, etc. In the case of multicellular organisms, examples are animals, plants, and some fungi. Thanks for watching. If you like our course, please spare some time to give a star rating to our course.